Welcome to Ruedo, a program by Amapolia that seeks to highlight all that's fashion and beauty in the scene in Puerto Rico to represent the island abroad. Today we're lucky enough to sit down with Alejandro Lafontant and Yeha Leung, the minds behind the incredible lingerie line, CREEPYYEHA. Thank you guys for sitting down with us.
Thank you guys for having us. Thank you, Radiored.
We're excited too.
Yes, me too. Well, we like to start from the beginning. So for both of you, when did your interest in fashion begin? And was it your first career shows?
I think it's always something I wanted to do.
Closer to the mic.
Oh, it's something I've always wanted to do since I was a kid. Yeah, it's something that I've always I cut up my mom's clothing and wanted to make my own. So I think it was meant to be.
Yeah, for me, it was my first actual job. I used to work at this store called Bounce in Plaza Las Americas.
Okay.
I was the guy behind making the hats and Swarovski crystal shoes for Hector El Fai, CREEPYYEHA, and all these people. And then eventually that's when I moved to New York. Yeah, after that.
Okay. And why New York specifically?
Well, for me, I'm not sure. I think I fell for some fashion ads of schools that were happening in New York, and I really liked the energy of the city, so I just went for it.
So you went to study over there?
Sort of, because the school is not very reputable, and it was sort of a scam that takes the money from the government to it was a weird thing. It got shut down, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we met,
That's where you met. Okay.
Something good came out.
Yeah, definitely. That's great.
And when did you decide to work together?
Well, we've always kind of helped each other, even at school. We helped each other with making decisions on our own work. And after college, I started CREEPYYEHA, and then when the demand got too high, I had to ask Alejandro to help me with sewing and decision making. And
it was very organic. It was at first just helping her after school, and that turned into months. And then it's okay, let's just expand this and focus on it together. Yeah.
And where is it now? Where do you find yourselves now in CREEPYYEHA? What has been the growth since you started to what it is now?
It's been very intense but organic. We really we urge people to just work at their own pace, and kind of work with the means we have, and try to focus on that and focus on the energy and what she personally likes, and edit,
we try to stay true to what it is we're putting out there. My parents have always wanted me to expand bigger and have factories and stuff, but after 5-6 years, we're still doing everything by hand and all by ourselves. So it's a slow process, but we want to keep it genuine and real.
Yeah. So
and
whatever
personal.
you see about it, it's thoroughly thought out, in terms of material, color, and yeah.
Wow. And so it's been 5 years since you started
I think so. It's I kind of started making stuff to sell online 2012, but I didn't register CREEPYYEHA until 2013 or 14.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was very DIY, and I didn't know what was gonna come of it,
Yeah, and for its time, there wasn't a lot of competition, right? For what you were
in the
exactly
beginning?
doing for being in fashion.
Well, I think it made sense in the beginning, how I got where I am was because there was I noticed there was a demand, and I found my niche market. So there was some competition, but there's more now, more than ever, because it kind of the kind of work that I do kind of is in the media now. It's very popular.
It's a bit of it has crossed over mainstream.
Yeah.
But regardless, we are true believers that with intention and passion, it really translates. So with the people we work with and everything, we just do what we enjoy. We don't really mind people doing their own thing.
Oh yeah.
Inspired by it.
Yeah, what I've been doing has always been around, like chokers, like bondage wear.
Yeah.
It's always been around. So
It's our own take on
I
it.
don't. Yeah, I try not to focus on like others. I just want to make stuff that I genuinely would like to wear and think that other people would like as well.
That's great. So,
And-
so Alejandro, how do you balance working on your own line and also working at CREEPYYEHA?
Well, for me, it's about priorities. You know, our priorities in higher demand is with CREEPYYEHA, and it's inspiring and also intentional how we work with CREEPYYEHA. With me, with my work, it's very personal and it's sort of like a diary. So I don't have any issues with when I want to release things or not. It's more of a slow cooking passion project that I'm kind of stepping on new territory of fashion and design or art, or at least I'm proposing, and so there's a lot of freedom that comes with that, which doesn't equate necessarily into a business. So I'm still sort of testing the waters with what people like, and eventually you'll see a more commercialized version of it, you know, for those asking, you know. So, yeah.
And what was the inspiration for starting the brand? And ya, tú lo dijiste. Okay. And has Puerto Rico had an influence on the brand? If so, what would it be?
Oh, is it for CREEPYYEHA?
For both, for Alejandro and for
You
CREEPYYEHA.
first.
So again, a lot of personal experience. So and I was born and raised here, so there's a lot in there in terms of shapes or concepts. But yeah, a lot of music influence as well from the island, always. So
Yeah, you started with working with.
yeah, I started with
reggaetonero.
rappers, and then eventually I'm doing stuff for like Buscabulla or Eduardo
Yeah.
Alegría or like.
Which is super different,
Yeah. But I think we all are,
essentially-
everyone that lives here can
Yeah.
listen to everything, you know, not necessarily like, I'm a believer, I don't know, like the whole scene thing is just funny to me, like just, you can enjoy all scenes, you know, like there shouldn't be any like, but yeah, we can all have fun. Yeah.
And so, has the creative process between you two, right? It's different when it's just one person versus two having to create the piece, right?
So it's pretty simple. Everything you see on CREEPYYEHA, it's her designs. My role is sort of a problem solver.
Okay.
So I come in with like pattern making or how to make it like elevated, how to edit it, you know, how to make it more comfortable, or I mean that's also collaborative because she knows how it feels against the woman's body mostly, but I guess I'm more of like problem solver.
And how long does it take from the idea you have to go to the actual product? From the sizing, material gathering?
Well, there's not a huge process behind it because I feel like I don't really work traditionally. Like I don't sketch anything out before I make something. For me, I'm a very visual person, so I like to like scavenge new materials. I like to go sourcing, and anything that I see, even if it's not meant to be for jewelry or for clothing, if I could get my hands on it, if something just comes into my head, I'll like try to piece it all together from my mind with my hands, and hopefully whatever I make makes sense and is comfortable, and it's something that I like feel comfortable sharing to the world.
But just to chime in,
Yeah.
some of her pieces can be in development for months. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Some of them can be like a daily thing, like, oh, I just had this in mind, let's try to do this, you know, or how can we do this, you know. So it really varies. I call it's more like sculpture, even though it's clothing, you know.
Yeah, I have a lot of things that are cooking up in there, but time is an issue for me. So I have a lot of ideas. Some I've already like kind of started and previewed and not finished yet. Like I've been working on like this like pearl collection for maybe 2-3 years now.
Wow.
I haven't completed it, but I have like released
It's going there, yeah.
some items here and there. And I think that's the beauty in what I do is It's just that I can just keep releasing whenever
Freedom.
I can. Yeah, it's very free. It's very I don't know. I like to keep myself like non-restricted to any rules of like seasons and anything like that.
Industry standards.
Okay, because the pieces are very, how do you say, modular?
Yeah, modular.
Yeah.
Mostly
Yeah.
all. I mean, I would say 98% of them are all made custom sizings.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's amazing because you don't like discriminate
Yeah,
with sizing.
with sizing.
So that's
Oh no,
amazing.
no. Because I believe that anything is better when it's like custom made to you, so it's not, you know, discarded or like you could buy anything fast fashion and just be like, oh, it's
Doesn't
not
fit
really.
well.
Yeah, it's not made for me, so why would I put effort into caring for it, you know? But if it's something that is, you know, made for you with your specific measurements and you wear it with joy and everything, I feel like you care for it more. And that's why we haven't really done any mass production. We like to keep it very personal and catered like directly to our customer.
Wow. That's amazing because I know you have a high demand, so that must be like very, I don't know if it's overwhelming in a way,
It's
but
just you too,
because you
so
have
yes.
also, I've seen your website and you have a lot of pieces, and I bet there's a lot of demand as well. So how do you manage your time with like orders or
It's a work in
Custom.
progress.
Yeah, it's like a work in progress.
We don't have all the answers right now. But you know,
going.
yeah, every year I feel like we have like a new way of like trying out like a schedule. Even
Everything
when he
changes,
started
yeah.
his brand again,
Yeah.
we divided our days to Alejandro
yeah.
and then to CREEPYYEHA.
And then like date days and stuff.
Oh yeah, we gotta keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that with CREEPYYEHA you're defying what the like society norms out of like what is expected from a woman or a man or anybody to wear?
I always have trouble answering these questions because for me, I kind of see things a little bit differently. I don't make things expecting it to like for it to fit into certain ideas. I just want to be free and make stuff, and if somebody likes it, they like it, and if it fits into the world, like I'm very happy. But
I can, as an observer outside of her perspective, I can see that by her surrounding herself with people that accept her work and her freedom doing her work, and also her family and my family are also very supportive. When that comes through in the product, it just automatically defies sort of systematic things, you know. So that's, I think, again, like I can't stop saying it, like if you're gonna design something unique, just think about the intention behind it and the freedom of doing it, you know.
You can totally see that in your pieces.
Thank you.
Yes. So being in New York must have its pros and cons for the brand. How is it hustling your brand in New York?
I think in the beginning it helped a lot, only because like traveling to like the city is very easy. It's just a train ride away. So I can like get my hands on materials, you know, as soon as I can. But I don't know, many years now, and I feel like I'm always like at home working on stuff anyway, so it doesn't matter as much to me anymore. But I get to like be with the people who genuinely inspire me. Like there's so many talented people out there, and seeing them wear my work, it's more like convenient. It's easier to like, I don't know, be motivated to keep pushing more stuff out.
It's like a lot of people are passing through the city, so in terms of timing, it's like a great spot to be.
Okay. So Alejandro, you work with from reggaeton artists like Héctor el Father to like artists, help with CREEPYYEHA, you help with FK Twigs and Solange. How do you describe the relationship between the music industry and fashion from then and now?
Oh,
if there's
well,
any difference?
Before I was fully in depth with CREEPYYEHA, I used to work at this tailoring house called In-House Atelier, and that's the first time I saw how sort of the stylist, music industry, or movie industry worked. So I took that information and sort of brought it to the brand and like, hey, this is how we sort of should move, you know. And being in New York and her work being as beautiful as it is, it's been kind of nonstop ever since. So.
And how did you feel once you saw like someone like Cardi B or Rihanna wearing your pieces? How did that feel like?
It feels surreal. I don't feel like it was me who did it. Sometimes I even forget, but it's like when it happens, it's like celebration.
Yeah,
we go out to eat.
Yeah.
If we hear the song or the video comes on, we always enjoy it. But
You must be like very proud of your work. Like,
oh yeah, I mean it's a lot of work, and to see it worn and loved, like that means so much. And it's not just necessarily just like artists or celebrities. Like, you know, Instagram, I get to connect with people. I get to see how they style it. Like they come up with ideas that I've never even considered myself, and that's so inspiring. That's how I come up with some of my new designs, is seeing how people wear it or how they like to wear it. So
seeing your clients actually bring it to life to their own little world.
And about Cardi B, a very like New York moment was like the stylist used to come to the store that I used to work with to pick up like items from that Danish store, Henrik Bibskov, and eventually over time he was styling other clients from the music industry, and he would always say like, oh, one day I'll find my biggest client, like blah blah.
Oh, yeah.
Fast forward 5 years and we get a call and it's Cardi B, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Wow. So, and all of them happen like really naturally, right? Really organic, right?
Yeah, I think that's like how we move. It's just very like fluid, organic. We don't push anything. We don't have any agendas. We just go with it, meet great people, vibe, you know.
Yeah. The first one was FK Twigs.
Oh
right?
yeah,
The big
yeah.
one, yeah.
And
was
you guys,
the
it's more like a
first
friendship, right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, she her music was coming out. We were loving the production, and we were like, we should message her. And that literally same day happened. You know, we started meeting up and seeing references, and eventually she like gave us one of the best experience around the city. Like she showed us so much about different cultures that we didn't know happening inside the city.
Oh
So,
yeah.
like
We
club
owe a lot
dance
to
culture.
her. She was very kind and very open with her world to us. So, you know, for me starting out, that was amazing. It was a great experience.
Wow.
And what have been the highlights of your career, you would say?
I would say that
That
meeting Twigs. Also, last month, or I guess 2 months ago, I went to China, Hong Kong, to style for my childhood idol, Sammy Chang. I grew up watching her on TV and movies. She was like a singer, like very famous, and she's like in her mid 40s now, and it's just like a dream come true. I got to bring my mother because, you know, she knows all about like the
music, yeah.
the Hong Kong culture, so she was very, very proud. It was her way of seeing me actually in work, and yeah, it was a beautiful moment, and they took care of me. It was like a very like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It was a great moment because they really, I felt really cared for.
Well, that's great. And sharing it with your mom, that must have been
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
incredible.
amazing. It was amazing.
And how about you, Alejandro?
For me, I think about my brand, I would say the current show that's going on. So if you guys have a chance, check it out. It's on Torre in Embajada, La Galería Embajada. I would say yesterday was the opening, so that was very surreal. But then on a personal level, with the fruits of our label, it was like we were in this city called Guangzhou in China, and I was in front of like one of my favorite architects' building in the middle of nowhere in China, like going out on a jog, and I'm like, I can't believe like I'm here right now. So. Oh, Sahadi, yeah, it was a Sahadi building, yeah, in China. So it's like, what the hell am I doing here? And fashion like took me here, you know. So
Wow.
it's very surreal.
So what do you see in the future of both of each brand?
Well, I do really, really want to expand. I mean, it's long overdue, but in our terms, like we still want to keep it very personal, family oriented.
It's cooking up.
We want to do clothing. We're trying to push that, like more ready to wear. So I will still be doing like custom leathers, you know, but I want to be able to have like clothing that's like available, and hopefully I can stock in stores finally, you know, not just exclusively online.
Because we've done like collaborations with stores, like releases, small releases, but we want to do something more formal and with clothing, because a lot of people ask her like, hey, what are you wearing, you know, so we want to make it more. So we're really, it's very, very soon cooking. It's cooking.
Well, let's see.
And have you ever thought of having your own store?
That is the plan in the future.
In the future,
yeah.
Or sort of like, you know,
Near future?
no, more like, because we do once a year, we do a studio sale, and we do have a showroom in New York, but eventually sort of pop-ups, if you want to call them that, you know, not necessarily just like one physical spot.
Yeah, I mean, that gives room for you to like move around, get more people, your audience, right? Perfect. And also, Yeha, you're basically, apart from your brand, your persona also, it's part of the integrity of the brand, but you are kind of like a brand as well, because like you say that people stop you to ask like what you're wearing, and you model most of your pieces. Was that always intentional, or was it just like you just
I think because when I started, it was very DIY and it was very online based, and it just started with me, you know, like any other girl posting their outfit online. And when I saw the demand for it, I just kept doing it. And I think when I started, I was slightly more shy than I am now, so it was really hard for me to reach out for like help, like models and stuff like that. Like I still kind of struggle with that, but in the beginning it was all just me modeling. Like right after I finished something that I just made up, put it on, self-timer it, and just like post it online. But it's just like that. It was just very personal. It was never like my plan to be like, I am the face of the brand. It's just how it happened because I'm the cheapest model I could find. So
And the easiest to ask too, like to do it.
No, but the photos are beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
And what advice would you give to those who want to follow similar footsteps?
Oh, I would just say do your research. You know, try to focus on what you want to do, because there's so many distractions in life, and you know, always be kind. You never know who you're gonna meet or like what's gonna happen with the person you're gonna meet. I just think like being kind, being generous, sharing like knowledge, if you have like helping others, it will come back to you for sure. So yeah, that's my advice.
Mine would be the same, sort of focus and know the sacrifice and what it comes with it. You know, it's not a lot of people you meet that are doing this, and the ones that do, it's because they're working really hard, the same as another profession, you know. So it's as hard as you push it, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like